man was kneeling down with a heart shape and
No,
say,
no,
will
no.
you be my girlfriend? I'm like, is this a proposal? Because I'm 14.
Like halfway through a date, actually you really like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, then you find out that, evergreen one.
这是宝宝了.
Fresh mates.
Some people you understand why they single. Right?
I don't know what you mean. Don't group us together.
Just like when I see some people, I like, yeah lah, you don't be in a relationship better. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Nick.
I'm Q.
I'm Joey. And guys, this plant is a bit...
What
Like-
colour is that plant?
It is a foresty
Green 讲 green lah.
Forest green.
foresty shade of leafy
Anyway, it's green.
It's green. And I think it's always been green. It will forever be green, right? Ever green.
what's this? What's happening?
Your Q.
Oh, introduce topic. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. So, wow, what a very nice segue into today's topic. But before that, introducing our guest as well. We have a special guest today. It's Estee is back.
Our producer.
Hi, I'm Estee. I'm one of the producers of The Hot Pot. Yeah, I'm back.
So Estee is here today because today's topic is about what it's like to be evergreen.
Oh, actually, this topic was suggested by a viewer, right, in our comments.
Oh yeah, I was wondering what that meant.
The first time I heard it was Brenda. She said evergreen. And then just based on inferring, I understood that it meant just being like fresh, like 仙草. 仙草 is grass jelly, right?
It's grass jelly.
But 很新鲜的草 in my head.
Fresh grass.
Understand.
Very fresh grass, yeah.
Right. Okay, so actually, Estee, tell us a little bit about your dating history. It means you've never been in a relationship before.
Yeah, never.
We talked briefly about this during the episode where we talked about being hyper independent. But yeah, give us a quick recap of your love life.
It will be very quick because we really got nothing. The max is like just crushes.
Then talk a bit.
Talk a bit.
Got go out.
I actually haven't been on an actual like real date.
Like,
Oh my god, can I hook you up with someone?
then like that, is it not evergreen already? At what point
So
you
we end
stop
the
being
episode
evergreen?
No, I think evergreen is being single your whole life, which means that you've never dated properly as well, right? Like long-term dating.
No, I think evergreen is you've never been in a relationship.
Yeah. So the definition of evergreen is someone who's never been in a committed relationship before.
So I can sleep around, have like multiple one-night stands, but then still be evergreen.
I would assume so.
That sounds a bit counterintuitive.
But some people live their life like that. Lah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been close to getting into a relationship?
No.
People chase you?
Chase have
Then?
Like you don't want or...
No, it just never led to that point.
Can you cite some reasons why you were not interested in these romances?
Didn't have that same feeling back.
Okay, so commonly listed reasons for being evergreen, right? People are sometimes just not interested in dating. Negative experience with dating, personally or secondhand, you hear from like your friends, or sometimes, you might be a child of divorce.
Why you look at me?
I gotta look at you.
You
You
look
think
at
everybody will look at you, man?
Childish. Yeah, you're too...
Okay, you might also have a hard time committing. So you have commitment issues. You are focusing on your career, or you've just not met someone you want to be in a relationship with, aka Estee.
Wow.
Sorry, not that you are the person that people don't want to be in a relationship with, but
Yeah. I understand. I think my closest reason is the last point.
Not met someone.
why?
Yes.
Is it because you think you never meet enough people?
Could be. I mean, I am a very introverted person by nature. So I don't go out very often. I don't join like hobbies, activities,
Gatherings,
social gatherings. And then I was in early childhood education. So it's like 95%.
women.
Yeah, 95% females. So then, yeah, it's also very difficult lah.
It's like engineering boys.
Correct.
They cannot
So
find
interesting.
women in their course.
How do people normally react to you being evergreen when you tell people like, oh, I've never been in a relationship before?
Like Nick at it.
Yeah, I think I always react like that.
No, but not gonna
got.
lie, right? I think I would react the same way.
To
Especially-
ST specifically.
No. I think
Or to
generally.
anyone? No, some people you understand why they single. Right?
I don't know what you mean. Don't group us together.
Just like when I see some people, I like, yeah, you don't be in a relationship better.
Today his honest button like
It's like, so it's a compliment. Like Estee, I think like, okay, well, why not? Why?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Yeah, but then got some people are like,
catch,
okay lah, you are doing the dating pool a favor.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it's not about looks. Sometimes like, I think just some people like personality, like you're a bit
They're messed up.
toxic
They're
and
messed
like
up.
you got issues. And some of these people are my friends, but I'm like, yeah, I love you as a friend. But then like, I think you need to sort stuff out before you put yourself
go
out there.
to therapy, fix some issues first before dating around and hurting someone else lah.
I think that's also a very common misconception for like us, for people who have never been in a relationship. Like we're not ready to maybe commit to the first person that we get into a relationship with, or like basically just thinking that there has to be some issues with you that you have to work it out first. Because if not, why haven't you been in a relationship?
Then got people ask, so like going back to the question, when you tell people, how do they normally react? Like your family members?
It's more of people who I meet for the first time or don't really know me well yet. There's two kinds. One will be the, oh, okay. Then they give you some like very random
Advice.
Advice.
Download Bumble.
No. Like, your time will come lah. It's
Oh
okay
my god,
one.
very triggering.
That kind.
Yeah, like
unsolicited. Say
Yeah.
for what?
when you're not looking for it, it'll come.
Yes.
I'm not looking for it for damn long.
Damn long already. And then the other kind will be the, why? Why? I also want to know why.
The reaction is a compliment.
Yeah.
Because they usually would say, huh, why? Because they feel like you are someone who's suitable or like is a great
An
catch.
eligible cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say now, tomorrow, right, you are going on a first date. Will you tell this person that I never been in relationship before?
No lah.
Oh, you won't?
As in,
When-
if it comes up, you all talk about dating history or whatever, sure. I'm not ashamed to share it. But I wouldn't be like, so by the way, I've never...
Like you won't make it your personality.
Yeah. I would feel like people who have an issue with me being evergreen are a turn off. I think I will still try to bring it up like earlier on so that if they have problems, then I can run away, you know?
Okay, then Joey and Q, right? If you all go on a... Okay, Joey, you pretend you're single. Okay.
Let me unbutton this one. Okay,
Show some
continue.
cleavage.
Yeah, okay.
Cleavage. Okay, so pretend you're single, right? Tomorrow you go on a date. And then like halfway through a date, actually you really like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, then you find out that, evergreen one.
吓死宝宝了。
Fresh mates.
Will it put you off?
Oh, I'm Charlie's first girlfriend. So it didn't put me off. I think first question will be, why did you never try dating? That was my first question. Like, you are a good looking person, you have a good head on your shoulders, and you communicate, like you're nice to talk to, easy to talk to. Why haven't you dated before? And I found out that there have been a lot of opportunities. There are girls who pursue him. There have been situations where they can take it to the next level of talking, but he's just never been fully interested.
What age was Charlie when y'all met?
21.
But then still quite young lah. Okay,
He
now
was
you fast forward,
21.
say now y'all meet now, then he 31, then evergreen at 31. Okay or not? Any difference?
Well, I think the age plays a part.
I think the age plays a part. Also, geographical location plays a part. Like where Charlie lived, not a lot of young people.
Oh.
And so it made sense. But if you're in Singapore, where you will one way or another meet someone unless you don't go out, then I would question if you do have the want to find a partner, but you haven't put in any effort in doing so. Like if you're actively pursuing a relationship, like you say you want, but you know, it never falls on your lap, then I'll question your ability to seek the things that you love. Because if you truly care about being in a relationship, you understand that there is a time like sensitivity, especially if you want to start a family, right? Then you're not actively doing the steps to get there. It tells me more about your personality, of how you approach a time sensitive important decision.
Right.
But if you're saying like, oh, honestly, it doesn't really bother me, like I haven't given it much thought, then I'll be like, okay, cool. Like just some people are just not they don't live their lives like
Seeking a relationship.
Yeah, seeking a relationship,
Yeah.
needing to be with someone all the time. Yeah, but
So it
if
doesn't bother you lah.
it doesn't bother me. I think it depends. If that person is like, yeah, I've always been looking for the one, but like cannot find, then I'll be a bit iffy.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I'm like, then your standards high, or are they unreachable? Like, or are
So
you
it's
the one that's the problem?
a bit of like all this you never try at all, so you cannot not consider a failure. But if you've been trying, then you have failed.
Not so much that, more so like,
There must be an underlying reason for
Correct,
it. Like if
I
you're the
think so.
common factor in the equation, then it's something to think about.
yeah.
I think I'll be a bit shocked for sure. But I will, similarly to Joey, I'll ask why. Like, what's the reason for it? Is it because you were focusing on your career and education? That's why it was never a priority. And then what shifted? And then I think it really depends on my chemistry and how his personality is like. If I'm interested enough to pursue it any further, then I think it doesn't bother me. But if he's a turn off on the first date, then I will be like, no wonder.
Makes sense.
No wonder.
Checks out.
Yeah, but I think before, if you ask me this 1 year ago, I'll be like, ugh, cannot lah. Because I think it's that mentality of, I don't want to be the guinea pig. I don't want to be your learning lesson.
Yeah.
And then I would have to teach you how to be in a relationship. But then again, there's no right or wrong in terms of like behaving in a relationship, right? Because everyone is different and every relationship is different. Even now, if you ask me to step into a new relationship, I'm sure that I'm not entirely trained, quote unquote trained, to be a perfect girlfriend, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like past dating experience does not equate to being a better partner.
Yeah.
There are people who constantly get into similar patterns and they don't learn from it. And there could be someone who has never been in a relationship but surrounded by people who have been, and they hear the conversations and they know what they want, they know what they don't want. And that could be why they don't even get into unhealthy relationships, because they can identify the signs. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, I feel like maybe someone who's evergreen, right, might be a better candidate as a partner versus someone who has been through a lot of relationships. Because
Fresh canvas.
not so much of fresh canvas. Okay, a little bit. I think lesser baggage. That's one
Just
thing.
carry on only.
Yeah.
Backpack
Hand carry,
only.
hand carry into the plane.
Don't have the check-in.
Got
Yeah.
the foldable one in the back. Like if you need, I got space.
Yeah.
The quechua. Or the kalenji.
And then to add on, I think someone who has been in multiple relationships, right? Maybe there are very high expectations or I would say different experiences that make them not very sure about what they actually want. Yeah, it might complicate how they view relationships, I feel.
Back to Estee, right? As someone who's not been in a relationship before, I'm sure that when you tell people that you have received a lot of like unsolicited dating advice also, what would you say is the worst piece of dating advice you have received?
I think the worst one is it will come when you least expect it. If you don't look for it, it will come and find you. Your time will come. Learn to love yourself first.
You know how we mentioned about like, love yourself first and like don't feel the void, things like that, right? There was a point in my life where I filled the void. Everyone else was moving on. My group of friends, they were all dating someone new, and basically no one really had the time
To hang out with you.
not that. It's more like things were changing, and then I felt this unfamiliarity. I was on Bumble, and then when I met this guy, I wasn't really super keen, because after meeting him once or twice, I was like, the chemistry isn't really there. But then I know that I was filling the void, and I continued dating him. And when we were ending things, right, I was very unhappy. But I don't think it was the loss of him. It was just the concept of like going back to being alone again. And I know for sure at that point of my life, right, I was not happy with myself. I did not love myself. I really like hated how I look. I don't like how I was and the way my life was. So at this point, obviously in hindsight, I'm like, ew, like why the hell did I do that to myself? Yeah.
I've been the recipient of that. But in secondary school.
Secondary school stories a lot.
As in, like, you have been the one that were used to
use of-
fill
people
the
make use of
void.
So I chased this girl, then I quite like her lah. Like not say like super like, but
Yeah.
like quite like then I chased quite hard. Then after that, we like text a while. then get together, right? Then 2 weeks later, she said, actually, I'm not feeling it. Then I was like, huh? What you mean? Then she said that, oh, actually, I just say okay to try for like 2 weeks. But 2 weeks already, then I still not really feeling it. So I think the one bah.
That reminded me of a very random story in secondary school, right? There was this one guy, he wanted to be my boyfriend, and we were at science center with his friends. And then, right, he was like, okay, you come to the staircase. Okay, wait.
Wait, where the Einstein is?
He went so he asked me to go to the staircase, or his friends asked me to go to the staircase. A lot of them are like 8 boys and like a few girls. Man was kneeling down with a heart shape and say, will you be my girlfriend?
At the science center, eh.
And then, right.
Wait, why science center?
Well, suddenly this memory came back to me.
He got it down to a science, eh.
I don't know. He knelt down and then he's like, will you be my girlfriend? I'm like, is this a proposal? Because I'm 14. Oh my god. And then, right, because everyone was staring and everyone was waiting for us, right? I'm like, oh yeah.
Honestly, these public things, even with proposals, honestly, just say yes. You know what I mean?
I was
What the hell?
No.
What terrible advice is
No,
that?
don't say no and walk away. It is so painful for everybody involved.
Just say thank you, hug.
Like,
then
you
then
just
go
say
off.
yes and hug, and then you just say like, I need to talk to you later. He forever the clip, right, of him being rejected, crying, kneeling, and then everyone just standing there. Oh my
I
god, we
agree.
just spent like $1,000 on this.
I think if you propose without knowing that it's a sure yes, that means that you deserve it.
I also think like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What do you
Like,
mean?
what makes you so sure of yourself?
Yeah. It's like, who you think you are?
I think if he's being a creep and like you've communicated it, and obviously he's just like, I don't know why your boyfriend would be a creep, but maybe he's
Or
not
like
even a
imagine like
boyfriend.
you date for like 2 weeks, then like you gonna one flash mob.
Oh my god. That is basically what happened to me.
Yeah.
No, but like
exactly.
secondary school version.
And not dating.
Then I remember coming out the door, right? The staircase door. Then they're like, hey, then how? Then I said, yeah lor. Together already lor. Then
No,
the
but
next day he said, I want to go home with you. Like as in he want to walk home with me.
But
But like I want to hang out with my friends. Can you leave me alone? Then eventually I broke out with him the next
Oh
day.
my goodness.
Wow.
I think what this means, right? My key takeaway here is that Estee is morally stronger than you.
Wait, you are comparing my 14-year-old self with Estee, who is now 20.
Who say Estee at 14 never received this kind of thing? But then,
Estee 有没有?
but I feel like,
God, me.
but I feel like she got at 14, she will reject, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Estee.
Thank you.
I'm glad you didn't say yes. If not, we would not have this episode right now.
What happened to her?
Question part.
Esther.
What is your favorite / most used emoji? I think maybe the skull.
Oh.
Very on brand.
I love that.
Mine is the clown face.
Mine is the crying, but crying, the dead inside
This
crying.
one?
Yeah, no, the don't have the tear come out. It's just like,
this
a
one?
bit, the eye a bit
I
wet.
know.
The eye a bit wet.
This one.
Yeah, that one.
Does a straw have one hole or 2 holes? One. I used to say 2.
No, it's one.
No, I used to say 2.
They are
but
not two independent holes.
but
They are one hole.
I saw
No.
a TikTok
No.
that tried to prove a point.
Yeah.
Donut got 1 hole or 2 hole.
One.
One.
Yeah, so it's the same. I'm saying 1, but like I'm trying to explain.
No,
to you.
okay, my explanation is if you cover one side, there will still be a hole, ma.
Okay, donut got 1 hole or 2 hole.
Same thing if you cover one side.
So
got one-
answer the question. You think 1 hole or 2 hole?
Suddenly.
Cancel her. Just kidding.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
He's a skeptic.
Yeah, so I
He's
want to
not
hear
hopeless
his
romantic.
answer.
Actually, maybe, yeah.
Maybe when I first see just my cuckoo stand.
Goodness gracious me, Joey Tan.
How crude, eh?
How crude. Yes, it did. But then, how crude. What's the longest you've gone without sleep and why? I think it was probably 36, 38 hours.
Wow, go and play LAN. Ah.
No, I couldn't sleep because I had a shoot or
Insomnia.
something. And
Oh.
then insomnia plus shoot, then full day, then blah, blah, blah. It just became like that. And then I remember, throwback to our episode with the psychiatrist, he said that I'm legally drunk at that point.
How would you prefer someone to like talk about relationships with you? Like whether it's giving you advice or like really dissecting, oh, how come?
Unless you are quite close, then I won't really want to like talk about it because like for what? But then I have dissected it with my close friend before. Like we sat down and we were talking about like what is wrong lah. The conclusion was that my standards are not high. I'm just looking for the bare minimum. No, I'm not. I have standards, but
No,
You're
I
thinking
think
your own grades. You're thinking your own
What's
grades.
your standard? Must be how good looking? Like, look, okay, we talk about looks
no,
first.
must be.
Little bit above average.
你给他讲
Personally, I feel people who say they don't care about looks are bullshitting.
yeah.
Like
Facts.
there has to be some sort of attraction lah, physical attraction. But I cannot give you a gauge because like it's very subjective. What?
Yeah.
But I can tell you that he has to be taller than me. Because
How much
I
taller?
am quite tall.
You're quite tall, right?
She's 1.7.
I'm 1.7.
She's 171 with the heels at another 5 cm.
Yeah, it's the heels.
So must be taller than you with heels.
Of course. I mean, okay.
Ideally.
No,
Okay.
of course. We love our shorties. Short kings, we love you too.
You said of course immediately and you're like, oh sorry, sorry, sorry. Oh my god.
Says the,
Easy for me to say.
says the one the husband nearly 2 meters tall.
Height is... Yeah.
Yeah.
Then must be like super buff.
I like lean.
Must be rich, not?
Not like
Rich
poor lah.
in life.
So actually for you it's just like agak average lah. Everything about average,
Average
then
lah.
taller than you with
I
heels
mean,
can already.
I don't have anything to compare to yet. So yeah lor.
I do want to take a few steps back to what you said earlier. Like you and your friend were trying to figure out what's wrong with you. I think this is like language that is very mean to ourselves.
No, I think
like,
it's more of checking myself
just
also.
being practical.
Yeah, like
Okay.
maybe I'm the problem. Like I can be ma. But yeah, I think that low confidence aspect comes in only when you get older and then life stages start to change.
Right.
Your friends start to get married, BTO, have kids, and then suddenly you just feel like you're falling behind lah. That's where it's like, shit, is it I got problem?
How are you now?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
I'm 25.
Okay, this was the exact age where I
Yeah.
felt like, oh my god, I have to fill this void. I felt so empty.
It's the
25.
25 stage.
Give yourself 4 more
25.
years. 4
Yeah
more
lah, very
years.
young lah.
You will
And
start
see,
to
you're gonna
care
feel like
less.
it doesn't matter. Just be confident. Single is okay.
I
Yeah.
think society teaches us that we need to be with someone to feel happy. It's
Yeah.
always like, oh, make yourself the best so that when the right person comes along, like the language that we are being fed every single day from young, right, is that we are inadequate on our own. And like that's why every show you watch is like, oh, you're empowered single individual. You're just an empowered individual. Like who the cares whether you got a partner or not? You know what I mean? Like empowerment can come when you're alone or you're married or you're divorced or you're a grandparent or like, but I guess it's very difficult because when everybody's moving on and finding their own empowerment in their own families, right? Then you're like, hi, I'm still here.
I felt like when I was 25, right? When I was the only single one in group gatherings, it was extremely awkward or rather painful, or it's like a reminder that there's something wrong with me. But now, right, when I attend these gatherings, I feel like I'm being taken care of. There was this one time I came back from Europe after a 2 week solo trip, right? My friends and their plus ones came to pick me up. And then all their boyfriends took my luggage and carried my bags, you know. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't need a boyfriend. I have my friends' boyfriends to take care of me. Like, I think sometimes it's really just surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
And they are the kind of people who will reach their arm back, you know, while they're walking with their partner side by side. They'll reach out for you to hold your hand also. Like, that's the kind of friendship that you should be looking out for. Yeah.
Okay, so actually something else that's quite interesting, right? We talked about being in a committed relationship, having experience being in a relationship, right? There's something that is kind of like adjacent and yet still relevant to that, right? Is physical intimacy, right? So the sort of other thing to consider when you are dating an evergreen or as an evergreen, right, is that in terms of like experience with physical intimacy with different partners and things like that, you might not be as experienced as like someone that you might end up like dating. How big an issue do you all think that is?
I think it's possible for someone who has had multiple partners to have an ego about the way they perform in bed, forgetting that not everyone experiences pleasure the same way. And if your partner doesn't like it and they pull but then it worked what? It seemed to work for other people. So I don't feel like the experience matters. I think it can contribute. It's a contributing factor, but it's not a defining factor.
So if, say, again, you are single now,
Yeah.
and then tomorrow you go on a date, right? And then the person is like, never been with anybody before. No issues at all lah.
If I'm in love with this person, then I will be honored.
guide.
I will be honored, and I think it'll be a nice experience together. But if it's I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of like something casual, right? Then I don't want to take something so special away from you because I see it as a special thing. I know some people see it as I don't want it to be special because there's too much pressure on it. Then I'll be the wrong person for you lah. But I think it really depends because sexuality, intimacy is so different for everyone.
For me, as like the POV of an evergreen, of course I wouldn't think it would be a problem because like I'm on the losing end ma. Yeah, but I don't think it's an issue unless you're talking about like people with very high body count.
Oh.
I think that is an issue.
Interesting, because actually, like, if you ask certain people, they'll be like, oh, I don't want to date somebody that has never been with anyone before. At the same time, there will be people who will say, like, I don't want to date somebody that has been, like, with, like, 100 people before.
Yeah, for sure. I think if I'm dating someone who has a high body count, right, I feel pressured. Because I'm just one out of the many girls that he has slept with, you know what I mean? And what if I'm not as good as the rest?
Right.
Yeah, but when it comes to dating someone who is an evergreen, I'm a bit like Joey. I'll feel honored that he wants to do the act with me.
Deflower and
I
pluck
deflower
those
him.
petals.
But I might be slower with this person. Slower in terms of like when we'll go.
Like progressing lah.
Yeah, progression.
Okay. Do you all think gender roles play a part as well? So like, for example, if it is the guy that has never been with anyone before and then the girl has had like multiple partners before versus the other way around.
I think it's unfortunate that society has painted a picture whereby when men do it, it's like, oh, he's just playing the field, he's having fun, and that's normal. But then when a woman does it, it's like, oh, she's a whore, she's a slut.
Sometimes I'm scrolling on like Reddit, right? And not just like Singapore Reddit, like globally. There will be guys who will be like stressed out or like asking for advice. So, oh, I have not slept with anyone before, but then I'm like currently seeing this girl who has had like multiple partners before. I'm very stressed. I feel very insecure. I don't know what to do. How?
I think it really boils down to your characteristics, your personality, and just how willing you are to accept that if you really love this person, then go together lah, learn together. Because I mean, everyone has their first times ma. It's not like everyone does it perfectly the first time. So why can't you like just do that again? You know?
Yeah, I think it's how you approach it. If you approach it with shame, then that's how it will be taken. Like it's quite hot if a guy is like, can you just lead? I think the girl will be damn excited to lead. Like if you tell her that, right? Like if you're honest with it. And I think it's true, society has placed this pressure on men to be experienced, to know how to do it, to take charge, right? But there are like, you know, there can be two chefs in this kitchen.
Yeah. Even if, let's say, you're dating someone who has had a lot of years of experience, right? The first time might not be fantastic, you know?
Yeah.
The first time might be awkward. It's still, you have to figure out what the other person wants and also the way they
cook. Saute?
yes.
Boil? Sous vide?
Yeah. Regarding physical intimacy, right? Do you have the desire to like be physically intimate with someone? Whether it's like holding hands, kissing.
It's not like a, oh my God, like I need it now. yeah, because I feel like I have nothing to compare to. So it's like, I don't know what
How
I
it
don't
feels
know,
like.
you know? But then it's just a very normal human thing that you will crave for these kind of things. Yeah.
Okay, then moving on, right? How do you deal with loneliness? Do you ever feel lonely?
I think the loneliness comes only as I grow older. Like when you were younger, everyone still kind of hangs out, you know. Some people are still single. As you grow older, people progress in their own lives. you meet lesser, and all of my friends are attached. Like I'm the only single one. And then sometimes it definitely gets lonely. Like sometimes I wanna go somewhere. So sometimes I wanna go somewhere. I have to really see who is free or who is not going with their boyfriends, or can they spare time for me, this kind of thing. Which I don't want to pressure them also, because I know, like, you know, they have to balance between friendship, family, relationship. But then sometimes it gets a little bit sad.
You got like try to want to watch new movie that just come out, then after that you ask people, then they like, I check with
I was just about to say that because the movies thing is a real thing.
Yeah.
I've asked my friends before, right? Then they're like, oh no, I'm watching with boyfriend.
I asked my friend if she wanted to go and watch. She's like, oh sure, but I'm also going with my boyfriend. Never mind, I watched 2 times. Then I feel very like...
But that's so sweet though.
No, they are no, very sweet. But I feel like, no, then never mind lah.
Or we prefer like
find
3
other...
of y'all watch together.
No.
Can I just say, as that friend, we are happy to watch it twice.
No, but I feel like, why do you need to spend double the money? Then I'll just find someone else lah. It's okay. You know, in my position, that's what I feel. But I know that it's coming from good intentions.
Okay, sub question is, are you actively seeking a relationship? Or has it gotten to the point where you're like, okay, I think I need to actively try now, like get on apps, join hobby groups, or go out and ask friends for recommendations?
At 25, I don't feel like I need to do something yet. I'm just not the kind to like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. As in, I do, but like, I don't have to be, you know? But I think maybe closer to 30, I will start to panic. Then maybe I will do something. But again, I am very introverted, so it's a bit tough.
When I'm talking to friends who are like looking to like date, or even if they are not looking to date, right? But then they don't want to be on apps, right? My advice now is always like, just try and put yourself in more like social situations, even if it's not with the intention of like
Correct.
looking for a partner. So it's like, if you go into like these sort of situations as like, okay, I want to like broaden my like horizon. I want to like experience more things in life, new experiences, even like by myself, right? At least then there is like a bigger like surface area. Yeah, like
It's true.
that you are covering lah.
Yeah, unfortunately, dating is one of those things that you cannot really approach passively. You kind of need to do something that's out of your comfort zone, be it just making friends with the opposite sex first. Maybe they have friends who would be like, hey, you know, I met this girl that we're not a good fit, but she might be a good fit for you. Like these conversations could come off that also.
I think even if it's, let's just say all girls, right? You are expanding your social circle whereby they could introduce someone else to you, because you're diversifying you know, your network. And I think aside from that, because you know, I've been to a few trips where it's like community traveling trips, right? That is such a good way of meeting people with similar interests. For example, I go for like snowboarding trips, right? I don't really need to talk to people. I can just snowboard. And then at the end of the slope, then we, hey, hot chocolate, you know, and then we end up talking, but it's very natural, instead of like sitting down at a dinner table and like, oh yeah, what do you do?
With the pressure of a conversation, right?
And I think some other sports, just introing your, maybe like bouldering. No, bouldering easy because you can't really then like,
send it.
Then you can't already, how do I, then you're like, shag.
Have you ever considered being passive and more reluctant to step out of your comfort zone, right? That it is a risk that if you never feel that incessant need, right, then you could be single for your whole life.
Definitely. The more I grow older, the less I feel like there are chances to like meet people, right? Like your environment and whatnot. And then the more I prep myself for the possibility of just being alone for the rest of my life. Like, I have had moments where I'm like, okay, maybe I should learn to accept that this might be the future.
I mean, I used to be like that also. But I think the more you think that, it will manifest into reality.
It's like you're prepping yourself for that direction because you're taking the steps to cushion the fall, right?
And naturally, you go down that route. Yeah. But honestly, 25 is really very young. Maybe 3 months later, we find a guy for you, you just go on one date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like, I don't know why, but this reminds me of the topic of having children also. Like, it's something that you can only control so much.
Yeah.
And if by the time comes, you maybe don't want to have kids anymore, you cannot, then like that lor. Like, I think it's better to regret not having than having.
Yeah.
For
the
the sake of
relationship.
having. Yeah.
Correct. And you don't want to force yourself into a situation where you have to feel uncomfortable throughout the entire experience just to not get into a relationship also. You don't want to betray your how you feel also, right?
Thanks so much for watching this episode of The Hot Pot. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and MeListen.
And subscribe to us if you haven't already.
And let us know as well down in the comments below your experience being an evergreen or even dating an evergreen. We want to know.
Tell us.
And also thank you to Estee for joining us in front of the camera today.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Hot Pot where we hop into different transitions in life. I'm Nick.
I'm
I'm
Q.
Joey.
Well done, lah,
I'm
guys.
Estee.
I was a mass comm boy. There were quite few of us.
Oh, is it? I would
Yeah.
think that it's quite equal.
No, all girls.
Yeah.
But then the main issue is that most people think that we're not interested in girls.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you give off... Never mind. I'm not going to ask that
I mean,
question.
look at the corporate TT video.
Oh my god, yeah.
Why?
Everyone thought that you were...
You awoke the gaze.
Yeah.